She used the chainsaw to dismember his body.
A chilling interrogation room confession to murder. This woman will likely spend the rest of her life in prison for shooting her boyfriend. But just wait until you see how detectives were able to unravel her lies.
So you're the last person to see him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we're trying to make sense of what, and then you make these, we've talked to a lot of people, a lot. I mean, dozens of people, not one, two, three, done a lot of homework, done a lot of things on it. So there's aspects of it that aren't making sense.
We're on the case, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. You're about to watch interrogation room video from a case where a man had been missing for more than a month, but you will see, as detectives interrogate his girlfriend, that this story goes from being about a missing man to a murder victim. This is the person who's responsible, 46-year-old Michelina Goodwin. She lived in Great Mills, Maryland. It's a small town of roughly 8,000 people in the southern part of the state, and this was her boyfriend. He's the victim, James Volodomyr Nalborczyk. Now, his family reported him missing, and he hadn't been seen or heard from for 10 days. Nalborczyk lived with Goodwin. She claimed that he left in the middle of the night, and that was the last she had heard of him. Here's what happened, though. When Maryland State Police brought her in for an interview a little less than a month after Nalborczyk went missing.
We have a search warrant for your DNA. Okay? Okay, so I wanted to go over that with you. Okay. I don't know if you remember me. I was at your house the other day. Okay, my name's Roger Schwartz. I'm a sergeant with the state police. Okay, I think you probably know DFC Ruggles. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Remember him? Okay. So before I get into the search warrant, I'm going to go over your Miranda rights. You're not under arrest. I do this before we start talking. I'm not trying to trick you. Does that make sense? Let's see here.
I see you have a picture of Gator there.
Yeah, and again, I got a few questions for you. The date is January 18th, 2023. The time is 14:26 hours.
The detective then tries to get down to business with statements Goodwin previously made.
I wasn't present at the time that you interviewed with Sergeant Newcomer at TFC Ruggles. But one of your statements to him right off the bat in your first interview, do you remember what you said?
Protection.
You said that, and we're going to address that in a second. Before that was, can you guys just kill me? That came out of your mouth. You did. And so,
like I said, people have been coming in making weird comments, and they have the gang tattoos. I had to ask what the gang tattoos meant. I don't know, and now everybody's wearing long sleeves. I don't know who's who. I just want away. I don't know who's after me, who's connected to who.
I can appreciate all of that, right? So one thing is this isn't my first rodeo. Dealt with many different victims, witnesses, anything, right?
Yeah.
People ask for protection, and I can appreciate that. And we've had those cases where we've worked with different services in order to try. Sometimes we have to think outside the box in order to provide.
Think outside of my own box.
Okay. So when you say, "Hey, I want protection," that's a very open-ended statement, right? It's like, well, I could say I want protection too, but from what, right? Is it from an animal? Is it from abuse? Is it from threatening whatever? Yes. So one of the things is I need to know.
My husband's beating the shit out of me. He's tried to strangle me multiple times, tried to pop my fucking head off. And then now I've had people come tell me that he's got $10,000 on my head.
And who is your husband?
Christopher Dyson.
Okay.
Our son-in-law.
Pam? When you say her, Pam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
her
that's
son-in-law.
why she's been helping me, because she knows he's been saying he just wants the dead, and referring to her.
Referring to Pam. He wants his own mom dead?
Yeah, that's not his mother. I held his mother's hand in 2018 when she passed away.
Okay, so what is the relation? Is that
his father married that woman.
Okay, so it's stepmom.
Yes.
Okay, I'm following you. Okay, but you were obviously close to.
Yeah, I take care of her. I used to take her doctor's appointments, clean her house and everything.
Okay.
I think she got scared of the situation. We stopped being friends for a while, but around Thanksgiving I took her flowers and she said that she missed me and she wanted to be friends again.
Okay. So You need protection from Chris?
And all his associates and friends. I mean, you know that he's dating Nikki Douglas, who is married to
Hang on a second.
Gator, which is, what's his name, Timmerman, who's a gang member.
You had
And
mentioned,
so,
you saw
yeah.
who is that?
Yep, that's him. But I've never seen him in person. I've just seen pictures of him on the internet. And then,
But you know him as who?
Chris's phone. Anthony Timmerman.
Goodwin's naming all kinds of people that she says she needs protection from. But I think in this next part, you hear her slip up in her story when she's talking about an instance where she says someone came into the liquor store where she works and threatened her.
Before that, the guy that came into the liquor store and said, "You don't have to worry about Chris anymore," was right before Volodomyr. He started having problems at his job and saying that people were threatening him.
The slip up that I think I heard is when she says that she was threatened at the liquor store and then goes, quote, right before, and then pauses a bit before bringing up Nalborczyk. That's the person who she calls Volodomyr. Now, at this point in the story, he was still missing. Police were not yet officially investigating a murder. Goodwin then claims that Nalborczyk had moved out, and detectives try to bring the conversation back to him and really start to press Goodwin.
You're the last person to see him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we're trying to make sense of what, and then you make these, we've talked to a lot of people, a lot. I mean, dozens of people,
Sure.
not one, two, three, done a lot of homework, done a lot of things on it. So there's aspects of it that aren't making sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, him leaving completely or moving out even on the knife didn't make any sense either. It's the fact that he's used me up. You know, he didn't want anything to do further with me because he had a new opportunity. So, I mean, nothing makes any sense to me, but nothing ever makes any sense to me what other people do.
He sent a lot of text messages to you too that were, you know, him telling you how much he cared about you and that he was sorry for an argument that you guys had.
Yeah, I mean, he acted like we were together and he was going to, like, make me be together with him, and it wasn't like that. You need to get your life straight first. You need to take care of your son. That's the main thing. It's not me. That's the main thing. You really need to get yourself together. And I had told him before, if you get yourself together, yeah, you're a great person when you're straight, but you need to show me that you really want to be with me and not just ride, you know, on my, you know, my money, on my house, on my car. You know, you need to show me. But the main thing's your son. Your son's sitting there begging you to come see him, and he's picking some guy named JoJo up just a few miles from where his son is. And so we had an argument about it, and I guess because I'm so strict with him, that's when he said he wanted to move out. But it was nothing, you know, about us that we really had an argument about. I told him a long time ago he needed to get himself straight. I'm just trying to help him. You know, I brought him to the house and bought him shoes, gave him a car to drive, you know, gave him a way to get to work so he could get himself on his feet and be, you know, what he needed to be for his son, for his family.
how did some questions as I was at your house for the search warrant, how did all that blood get everywhere? Did you cut yourself?
Just recently?
I think it was recently.
There was one time where I had a runner that came in who used to work at Kevin's Corner Cafe. He let some his drug dealer in the house at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He tried to come in my bedroom and wouldn't stop coming in, and he kept trying to swing his arm, getting dogs out. And the dog, after the third time he swung his arm, kept coming towards the bed. Dog grabbed a hold of him and stayed a hold of him, chewed him up all the way down. All the way, there's blood down the walls, all the way down to the front door.
When did this happen?
I don't remember when I quit Kevin's, but it wasn't long after that because.
Like, was it in January of this year?
Oh no.
December of last year?
It was maybe last year or even the year before.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking like we were just in your house like Saturday. Today's Tuesday? Mm-hmm. No, today's Wednesday, right?
Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday,
the antiques that were on the table. I'm like, done. I just want to get out of the house. I mean, it's getting worse with you all keep showing up. Like,
but
it looks like I have something to do with telling y'all stuff, and that, you know, it's really getting to the point that, like I said, they had I feel like everybody I know is going to get killed because they think I'm talking to y'all and I don't know anything. But y'all keep showing up in my house, which is completely opposite of asking for protection. And little Miss Helen certainly doesn't deserve it, but they specifically have come in twice and said, and how's that woman with the little dog? I mean, these are people in my peripheral that have nothing to do with it. I don't need to put them in danger over something that Christopher's done.
So I'm talking about on Saturday when we were in your house. There was blood like on the door, on the light switch in your room.
Okay, that was me
that was from
breaking
you?
all of the
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Got sick of it. Y'all took the computer. I was finally getting to the point where, like, I'm not computer literate at all. Larry helped me get the computer together so we can start selling some of the stuff online, because some of the stuff is teapots worth $4,000. I can't sell that at the farmer's market. I have to go online to sell it. There's nobody at the farmer's market that's going to pay what it's worth, you know, stuff that's called Prussia and everything. I cut myself because I got angry. I just breaking the stuff. Like, I'm done with it. I just want to move. This is ridiculous. I can't get anywhere. I can't get any sleep. I'm scared to be in my house now. I'm scared to be at work. I can't.
How did the holes get in the doors in your upstairs? In Larry's room, there's a big hole.
Ex-boyfriend.
Who?
That one was actually Volodomyr.
Okay. What happened there?
He was trying to rape me, and I went into Larry's room and locked the door, and he came in. He beat a hole in the door. He put his head through the fucking door. And that was a while back.
He tried to rape you?
Mm-hmm. He was very, very angry that I wouldn't maintain a relationship with him. He wanted to have a relationship with me. And wanted, you know, like, dude, I'm married. You can't. This isn't. And you're a runner. You're driving my car. You're in my house. Like, you can't do this.
So you were in Larry's room?
Yeah, I went into Larry's room and locked the door, and he's, you know, put his head through the door and opened the door, and that was the end of that.
Goodwin there is accusing Nalborczyk of trying to sexually assault her in the house. She also claims to have been married to someone else. But when she brings up the name Larry, this is who she's talking about. This is his mugshot. He also lived in the home. At this point, Goodwin is talking in circles. And then about an hour after that, detectives get her to admit that Nalborczyk was killed in her house, and she claimed Nalborczyk had attacked Larry, and she had to intervene with a gun.
Volodomyr keeps beating the crap out of Larry. Larry's just trying to get a hold of him, get away from him. He never was able to even get his arms up. He beat Larry down to the front landing and pulled Larry back up. Larry's trying to get away. He was trying to get downstairs. He kept beating him. You know, Larry doesn't have any bone right there. It's not good. I was scared for Larry. He pulled him back up to the front top landing. You know, he kept beating on him and beating on him. Larry's still constantly trying to get away. Never hit him back. I was so proud of him. But at the same time, I was so scared for him, because if Volodomyr hit him in that eyeball, he's done for.
Right. I had a teammate in high school that had a glass eye, so I know exactly what you mean by that.
I did nothing but help both of them so much. Saved everybody. There's no right for me to be in this situation at all.
How did you save Larry that night?
I guess you're gonna be happy. So we had left a double-barreled shotgun there. I just grabbed it to try to get him to get the fuck off Larry. I wasn't strong enough to pull him off of him. I didn't know the damn thing was loaded. I didn't mean to. The little dog Otis was there, and I accidentally stepped on him, and the fucking gun went off. And that was that.
Were you just using the gun as a...
I just wanted to...
Right, were you using that as
I wanted
a...
him to get the fuck off of Larry.
Okay.
I wanted him to stop acting that way. He was the only one fighting. Nobody else was fighting with him. Generally, if somebody's, you know, really trying to rape me, I'm going to fight back. But he wasn't, you know, he wasn't being that. But he wouldn't get the fuck off Larry, and Larry never raised a goddamn hand at him. He only stood up when he kicked the dog.
Where did
I'm
this?
so sorry. I'm so sorry any of it happened. I was in a state of shock for the longest fucking time that there's no way that this happened when I was doing good. I did good for both of them. I was trying to save both of them.
You brought them into your house and you were caring for them.
I bought the man shoes. I gave him a truck to drive. I tried to get him to get his life together. He wouldn't stay off the fucking truck.
What was
I'm so sorry, y'all. I really am. I didn't mean to say anything wrong or do anything wrong. I was just in such a state of shock after that. Like, this really did not fucking happen. This really did not fucking happen.
Did
Larry never did anything.
Larry never raised a hand towards him?
Never did. I promise you he didn't. I was proud of him for not doing it, but then he couldn't get Volodomyr off of him. And it was my place to get Volodomyr. I'm the one that brought Volodomyr in the fucking house. And I didn't mean for that to happen. I'm so sorry.
You don't need to apologize to us. We knew something happened.
Even then, it's hard to believe what Goodwin is saying after she had lied for more than an hour to detectives. She claims that she didn't mean for the gun to go off, that she had stepped on a dog, and then somehow the shotgun went off, shooting Nalborczyk in the back. The next question from police: what happened to Nalborczyk's body?
What did you do with the body once it was in the...
You know what I did. I certainly can't move them in one piece. It's fucking horrible.
Can I ask you a question and you just answer it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you use the chainsaw to dismember his body?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did you do once you dismembered his body?
I took him to a park in Angelmore. Set it on fire.
How did you get him out of the house?
Put him in a lane chest my mother had.
A lane chest?
A cedar chest.
A cedar chest? And how did you get it out of the house?
Larry helped me get it into the truck.
What truck did you use?
The Expedition.
The Expedition. How big was the chest relative to this table?
It's about the size of the table.
About the size of this table. What day did you move the body out?
I think it was that Friday. Pretty sure it was that Friday.
Was the body starting to smell?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get the body on a tarp? Okay. Was there any blood on your carpet upstairs?
No, that's why I couldn't believe, that was part of the reason I couldn't believe what the fuck had happened. There wasn't blood. There wasn't.
Do you know what kind of ammunition was in the gun? Do you know what color the shell casings were?
Red.
They were red? Do you know what gauge it was?
That was my husband's gun.
Red is typically 12 gauge. Does that sound right? Can you describe the gun?
I think it was like buckshot or something. I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I don't know anything about guns.
And I understand that. Did you ever load that gun?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the gun?
It was from Christopher.
Did he give it to you or did you take it?
He had given it to me
When?
years ago.
I mean, for what purpose?
For home protection, just
Okay.
be careful.
Okay.
You know, be safe.
Where did you keep it?
And it was laying next to my makeup table, up
Okay.
against the wall,
Okay.
next to my makeup table.
Okay. You were not aware that it was loaded, though?
I did not know it was going to
You
be.
did not know. Okay. Where is that gun now?
I don't know. I threw it. Oh, where the hell? I drove around and around and around and around trying to figure out what to get rid of anything. I don't know the road. It's near Perth State Park. There's,
What county is that in?
it's in Calvert County. I mean, Charles.
Charles?
Perth State Park's all the way down at the end of Nanchmoy. There's an area that, like, the pond goes across, like, under the bridge, great big, like, culvert pipe. And I slowed down, I threw it into the pond on one of the sides of the road. So nobody really drives on that road. But I don't think I would know which one it was.
How close were you to Perth State Park?
I'm not sure if I was in the park or, like, there's only so many roads down there. I was just
Were there a lot of ponds around in that area?
There's a lot of water.
A lot of water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like water on both sides with a big culvert pipe that goes under the road, and I threw it into the water on the farthest side of the road from like here, I guess. I mean, if I saw it, I'd be able to.
You would?
Probably.
Okay.
But I can't guarantee it.
I understand
because
that.
It was.
Was it light or dark out?
It was dark.
It was dark. How far out did you throw it?
As far as I could.
Was it just the gun, or was it inside of a bag? Like,
No, it was just the gun.
just the gun? Okay.
Did you ever take the shell casing out of the gun? No? How did you know it was red?
Because it looked red. Like it was still in there.
So you...
The plastic was still in the gun.
Right, what kind of gun though? Like, was it a break action? Do you know what I mean when I say
It
opened like that? But how did you see it was? I'm just trying to, again, understand. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I'm kind of a gun nut, so when like you break right, that unlocks it, right?
And it opened up and I could see the red in the holes.
So were both sides have ammunition in it, or just one?
It was red on both sides.
It was red on both sides. Did you didn't take? You left them in there. So do you think?
I didn't know like how to get it out of there. I thought everything was supposed to come out. Like I don't know anything about it. Like I took a gun class, but that was just for self-protection.
When you break open that, if it has an ejector, it'll pop them out. But if that ejector is broken or stuck, sometimes you have to physically pull it out. It's an ejector thing. But I was curious, did you shoot once or twice?
Just once.
Just once?
Like I said, I stepped on the dog and I didn't even mean to do that. I don't know why my fucking finger was on the trigger. I was holding it, you know?
How were you holding it?
Just. But I didn't even know my finger was on the trigger. I was yelling at him to stop, hoping he would look at me and see that and stop.
Okay.
I stepped on the fucking dog and.
Okay.
And had like. He squeals, and I lean into the wall, and I look up, and it's happened.
So going back to the body in the park, you set it on fire, correct? The chest.
God, it's so horrible.
What happened there?
I left.
Is it still there?
I imagine so.
Was it in the chest still? Mm-hmm. Like you took the items out of the chest?
I took it out of the chest, yeah.
Where's the chest?
At the dump.
Which dump?
St. Mary's County.
The one on Route 4?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to go?
No, the transfer station. I put it in the
Oakville?
Transfer station.
Okay.
It's just up on the landing. Yeah.
The one on Route 4, the one up in Oakville?
Route 4.
Route 4. So you had to go, not the convenience center, but the actual
It was the
dump.
convenience center.
It was the convenience center?
Yeah, I was scared to get a flat tire at the dump.
Okay. When you were at the park and the items were set on fire, were they inside of a bag?
Yeah.
How did you set them on fire?
Put some oil.
What kind of oil?
Gasoline. Whatever was in the shed. I took with me. God, this sounds so horrible. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not like this. I never would have done this.
Wait.
I was just at a loss of what to do. I really didn't know what to do. I still feel like I was just in a bad situation.
One thing is we are not here to judge you. Do you understand that? That's neither one of our jobs.
I don't feel like God's mad at me either, truthfully. I've done a lot of praying over it. I don't think he thinks that I was wrong either. But I'm just a child and doing myself. I did what after the fact, none of that really mattered. It was just that it's horrible. It should never have come to that. And I just didn't know what to do. Because, like I said, none of it looked right from the get-go.
Where in the park did you go?
There's some big power lines. I don't think it's in the park. It's across from a hunting area. There's great big white power lines. And I drove down to the second set of power lines, and there was a wood pile. I can take you guys there. I can take you to where that, this is somewhere else.
Okay, where?
I couldn't fit it all in the trunk. I know I sound like a horrible demon.
Wait. As I said before, we're not here to judge you.
And it's just like I was scared for Larry to get in trouble, and Larry hadn't even raised a single fucking hand, you know? That was all on me, and now why is it all on me when I've done nothing but try to save them both? Save everybody. Save my damn to treat me this way.
Sure. So what parts are?
Sorry.
That's okay. What part is?
We can go and I'll show you where.
What parts are where? Just meaning like are there 2 or 3 separate areas? How many?
There's only 2 separate areas.
Okay. So what parts are at that near the power line and the wood pile? What is?
His body and feet.
His body and his feet.
Are in Angemoyne, and his hands and his head are in St. Mary's.
You say hands? That is all of his arms or just his hands?
His arms.
Arms and head are in Angemoyne?
No.
Or St. Mary's? We're at in St.
I'll
Mary's.
show you, but I'd never be able to explain neither one of them.
Do you just know like what part of St. Mary's? Like we talking 7th District, Charlotte Hall,
Down by Elms Beach.
Elms Beach?
But I'd have to show you. There's no way. Like, I don't even know what road I was on when I went to the Angemoyne. I just drove around, but like, I couldn't stand the smell anymore. I just couldn't stand the smell anymore, but I still hadn't wrapped my head around it and tried it. Like, I didn't want to do any of that.
Police would find parts of James Volodomyr Nalborczyk's body in 2 counties in Maryland. Larry Murphy, who was the other man inside the home, he was charged with helping Goodwin hide the body. A jury found him guilty. A jury also found Goodwin guilty. She was sentenced to 61 years in prison. The state's attorney said that was the maximum punishment for her crime, and according to online court records, she is appealing that verdict. An obituary for Nalborczyk says that he worked as an HVAC technician and also, quote, he never stopped working and trying to help others. Jimmy will be deeply missed by his family and all who knew him. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law&Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.